Hey guys, Iron Eagle here. This time we're going to take a closer look on how to fly patterns and how to land the F-16 Viper. And today we're approaching Khoki in this really beautiful Begium Air Force Tigermeet skin. Credits go out to Roughmaster. His work is really awesome. I'm gonna post a link to his work down in the description of this video. So let's get right into this and fly some patterns with the F-16. See you in the cockpit. Okay, so here we are, lining up on runway course, which is 0905 on that one. I also tuned this in here, and the traffic pattern we are going to fly is determined on the visual approach chart at around 2,500 feet, assuming we're having a left turn into the downwind lag, which means there's populated area, so we're flying around 2,500 feet. So I'm flying runway heading right now, almost like 09er, which means the down leg is going to be 270, and I'm not going for any overhead brakes right now. I'm just flying regular patterns. What I'm going to do is I'm going to climb up and turn the jet, and while I'm doing this I am climbing. It was a little too less on power, but that's alright. So I'm going into the downwind lag, about 270, right here, climbing, and I'm slowing down. And what I'm aiming for is that my wingtip is going to be placed on the point where I want to touch down. And once I'm there, let's level off here, right about here, I'm going to turn, going into the brakes, trying to keep that 30 degrees bank, and bringing her in. So bringing the nose, or bringing the flight path marker down on the -5 degrees. I'm not in gear down configuration right now, because this is just a regular approach without any intention to land or to touch and go. So this is going to give you a better feeling of the behavior of the jet when it's turning. And as you can see, there was no overshoot, no nothing. That was kind of pretty easy. I'm coming down on this leg. Now I'm on the final leg again, runway heading. And we're going to level off. I'm going to start accelerating again. Okay, Khoki is a little busy today. Okay, everything is clear. So I'm gonna pull up again, bring her into the bank, flying into the downwind position again, bringing her up to around about 2,500 feet. Have to go up a little more. And down here, as you can see, I'm leveling off at around 270. Taking a look over, and you can see we are almost like perfectly aligned. What I do now is I'm going to slow down, brakes. Okay. And gear down. Watching that one. Now, notice when I turn and bring this into the 30-degree bank position, the jet will automatically start to push its nose down. So what you've got to do now is you've got to control the jet with pitch and thrust. So the idle thing would be to keep the flight path marker somewhere in between the -5 degrees and -3 degree ladder. So as you can see, this is getting a little bit more difficult. Now I've got a little overshoot. Overshoot is not really as cool as undershoot, but I'm going to try to catch her up. And now here's the important thing. To land F-16, you want your flight path marker in the bracket. That's true to have on-speed AOA. And now you see the gun cross on the top, which is aiming for around about 10 degrees. So this is the nose pitch up we need to make the F-16 fly as an air brake when it's touching down on the ground. Let me show you. So we're trying to keep her here, bringing her in very gently, flaring, and cut off. So here you are, touchdown, and holding her at 10 degrees. And go around, full burner, brakes in, gear up. Out of burner. Here we go. And one more time, up, into the turn, climbing up to 2,500 feet again, going into downwind, coming around 270 roundabout, and slowing down, leveling off the jet, and we are in the downwind position again. So this is something you can practice on an everyday basis to get a feeling for the jet, to get a feeling for how it reacts on different certain speeds, and it all varies if you have different payloads. You know, if the jet is heavy, it acts completely different. So here again, I'm going into the brake, turn, and below 300 feet, 300 knots. I'm gonna drop the gear, let her come down, and applying some power. Always have the cross check. It's okay. Here we go. Looks like a good one now. Turning into the final leg, and let's come down for a full stop landing on this one. Slowing down even more. So as the jet starts to get slower, introduce some more pitch so you get your flight path marker into the E-bracket and then start applying power to maintain that. And make sure your gun side cross is right about 10 degrees while you're approaching with the F-16. So you see the approach speed is right about 160-ish right now in that configuration. So coming in here, and let's touch her down and go for a full stop. And I will keep the nose up and use the whole air brake plane as an air brake. So she will eventually come down automatically. Apply some more brakes, air brakes, and once you're below 100 knots on the runway, gently start to introduce your wheel brakes. and bring her to a full stop landing. Okay, Khoki. Turn on nose wheel steering, with which is going to be indicated with that AR NWS announcer. You can activate this on the keyboard with the S key or on your HOTAS with the missile step button. Get some F-15Es standing around here. Beautiful jets. Can't wait for the F-15E by Razbam to be released. Will be an awesome thing. Okay, so this is basically it. Some minor side notes. If you're flying patterns and you want to be as much as precise as possible, you want to dial in the correct QNH for your barometric altitude. Because as long as you're staying below 10,000 feet, barometric altitude is crucial, unless you have a radar altitude like here in the F-16. But it is always good to get the QNH from the airport or from the ATIS or ATIS and dial it in here. I've done that before, and mine was at 2984. So 2984 for the QNH, and that will give you the correct air pressure for the corresponding altitude calculations. So let's say I have a malfunction with my radar and the radar altitude is not working in the F-16, so I still have a valid system which is going to give me reliable information on how high I am. Alright, guys, I hope that helped you. I wish you lots of fun practicing this, and see you all next time in another video. Bye!